Try to bait that shot. He aimed for the lower front plate, which is the good spot. I don't know for a fact that this will bounce. This is the E1, so it's got a better lower plate. Bounce it. Pow. That's the E1, baby. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. Today we're taking a look at the recently added T32E1. And I'm a big fan of it already. I love the American heavies, the T29, T34, T32. So now you add the E1 to the mix, and I'm in love with it. It's just a very strong tank. It's basically the T32 but buffed. So much so that I think that when all said and done, I believe that the E1 will be bumped up to 7.3 at some point. It may take a while for Gaijin to get their statistics in and do other calculations, but I think this will be bumped up to 7.3 at some point. So what's difference or what has changed? Basically, it's all in the armor. The gun, the armor and the turret, the engine, it's all the same. Same ammunition. Nothing's changed. Let's go back to the T32. You notice T32, a couple of things with it. It's got a machine gun port, which is a big weakness. Then the upper front plate is 127 millimeters thick with a 54-degree slope. Go to the E1, and you'll notice that the machine gun port is gone, getting rid of a major weakness. The upper front plate is 127 again, but it's sloped at 58 degrees instead of 54 degrees. Now, is that a big difference? Not in my opinion. Very few guns can punch through this. The obvious one that comes to mind is HEATFS, but yeah, that's gonna go through. It doesn't matter what angle it is. That's pretty ridiculous. Then we get to the lower front plate, and that's where we see another change. To kill the T32, one of my favorite spots to hit is either the left or the right on the lower front plate, because in the middle, as you see my cursor, watch the effective thickness change as I move my cursor around. 150, 170, 160. All of a sudden we're in the 260s, 270s. Get over here to the right, and it's 160, 170. Very easy to punch through either corners on the lower front plate. I'll switch over to the new E1. 234, 235. You see, it's very consistent all the way across, making the lower front plate a very strong piece of armor now. But those of you who are observant may notice something else has changed on the hull. Go back to the T32, where the lower front plate and the upper front plate on the T32 meet. You see, there's almost just a crease, just a very steep corner. If you aim at this, you'll either hit the upper or the lower front plate in all likelihood. On the E1, you're going to hit this rather flat spot of armor, and as you can see, it's only 127 millimeters thick, 18 degree slope, giving it very little of additional effective thickness. So anything that shoots this will punch through. At this tier at 7.0, you're going to punch through that with a King Tiger, a Panther II, Jag Panther, all those big long 88mm guns that the Germans have. And the Russians have some pretty big 100mm guns as well that'll punch through this without problems. And if you're familiar with the layout on these big heavy tanks, the ammo, big boom. That being said, I still like the T32E1. It's basically the T32 on steroids. And again, I think the battle rating will be bumped up to 7.3 at some point. And speaking of 7.3, we find ourselves in the 7.3 battle on Fulda. Big map. It plays a little bit smaller than it feels. The tank in the background there. Noticing a lot of RU-251s here in the last couple of days, ever since the German tanks went on sale. Excuse me. There's no point in rushing. The RU-251 has incredible top speed. He could very easily flank me if I'm not careful. The Bravo cap on Fulda has a lot of trees and a lot of small buildings and it's not unheard of for an RU-251 to be able to sneak around with this cap. So I'm just playing it slow. This guy, on the other hand, the T32E1, he seems to think he's got better armor than I do. God bless him. There's a tank here, but I can't see him over the ridge. So we're going to push a little bit closer to B. See some movement here, but I wait for him to push out, but no, he's not. Use my machine guns to spot him. There we go. Right in the ammo rack on the RU-251. T32E1 is down from a Type 61. There are multiple vehicles on my left up here. Even though the lower front plate is really good, it doesn't mean that my gun barrel can't be busted out or shot in the side from across to my right. So I don't want to just go in there and be reckless. I think that's one of the mistakes people often do in a big heavy tank. They get a little overconfident and they push too far, push too fast, and before they know it, they're dead. Type 61 on the ridgeline, he killed the T32E1. I'm actually kind of surprised that shot killed him, because it got him in the engine and not the crew compartment. That's one of the great things about the APHE shell these vehicles get. I love this tier of vehicle. The shell is a little forgiving, even if you have a bad shot. I can see something just over the ridge line, but I don't have a clean shot. So we're gonna hold my shot, and we're gonna push up towards B just a little bit, in hopes of finding something else to shoot at. Just like that, RU-251, another one pops out, and he gets blasted. But he shot me either through the lower front plate or the upper front plate. Either way, it isn't gonna matter. The shell, HEATFS, it's a damn good shell. Tiger 2P, completely oblivious to my location. I should have been marked on the map for him, so he should have known that I was here. Pushing on up for the cap. I always got my eyes open, looking for something else to shoot at. And there it is, another Tiger 2P on the ridgeline. Take him out, he bounces on me, and now we cap. I have a talisman on my T32E1. I also have a talisman on my regular T32. I've had a talisman on my regular T32 for a long time. I highly recommend a talisman if you like these vehicles. But even if this isn't your particular type of vehicle, find something that you like that's not premium, obviously, and put a talisman on it. It's incredible what a talisman vehicle can do now in a long battle. In terms of RP, you can get a lot of RP, some serious grinding. I'm down 2 crew members, so I opt to take advantage of the crew replacement option. I'm just listening, trying to get a feel for where people are. There's some shots to my left, but I don't see anything straight ahead. There are likely going to be some guys in like E4 and F4 coming back from a respawn. So that's where I'm headed in that direction to just see if they're coming yet. Peek around the corner, checking the fields as well. You never know when they're gonna, what direction they're gonna come from, or what cap they're gonna go to.
Attention to the map. Attention to the designated.
A lot of action down by Charlie, and at the castle as well. I see some movement over here, a couple of fields from here, a couple of ridges away.
Awesome.
But I lost visual on him. He's dipped down behind the ridgeline. I'm just waiting for him to pop up again. There he is. It's over. I don't play Fulda enough to know these distances. 800. I wasn't too far off in my initial shot. Just so damn close. And now he's realized he's being shot at, and he's turned his hull. Guarantee you, he's using his rangefinder on me. That was close. I tried to hit the lower, excuse me, the side of his hull to overmatch the side armor. The Panther's side armor is really weak. I'm trying to avoid being shot, not because I'm worried about him killing me, but because I don't want to get hit and get marked on the map for his allies. There we go. It wasn't where I wanted to shoot him, but hey, I'll take it. We got all 3 caps now, and it looks like we got airplanes up. I see what I think was an RU-251 in the cap, but apparently it's dead, or I missed it. Either way, I'm not worried about it. I've been getting shot at. I don't know what. Another vehicle coming in. Another Panther. Take him down. Now, where's this other vehicle? I don't know where he is, so I don't know where to angle, and sure enough, straight on the Egg Panther. Where does he pen me? That weak spot, right where the 2 plates meet, that I told you about. It is a glaring weak spot. Even if you have bushes on, you can't completely cover that. Well, you might be able to if you have those original bushes, that big bush pack of 6. I just have the random scraggly looking bushes that you can't really cover up much of anything. So I respawn in the T32. We'll go ahead and fast forward to some action. Here we are back at the cap, and we're trying to hunt down this Jag Panther. And he is here. I just can't actually get a shot on him. Of course, if I had a faster reload, he'd be dead right now. That's one of the drawbacks of the T32, is it's got a pretty long reload of over 14 seconds. This particular T32 actually has an ace crew, and you can see it still takes a long time. But he's disappeared into the smoke. Let's go ahead and push up. Got the T92 auto squad mate. He's gonna push up and take him out. The Egg Panther is just spamming smoke left and right. He knows his time is limited. Walker Bulldog goes down by the castle for Tiger P. I'm not worried about those guys. I'm trying to get 2B and help out this T92 if I can. You see the mobility on the T32 is pretty nice. Good job. Now, I know that the guy next to me died from a Hori, so I'm trying to find him, and there he is. He's coming up to B. Pop a shot right in the side. Gunner loader, and he's on fire for some reason. Like someone else may have... Did someone else hit him? I don't know. Come on.
Attention to the designated grid square.
You know, put your fire out. Oh, he's still burning. He's definitely burning now. There we go. Dude, I don't know if he bailed out or what. That shouldn't have killed him. That is kill number 8. We got 7 in the original T32E1 takeout. And much to my surprise, this guy, there was a Panther 2 right on the cap. And thankfully this guy saw him. That could have been a pretty disastrous outcome if we had all drove in here and gotten taken out by that Panther 2. Once again, back on the cap. We'll go ahead and fast forward it a bit to the very end of the battle. We did get the cap. We got all 3 caps, as a matter of fact. And now I'm just waiting for this one last kill. Poor little Japanese guy. Type 60. I killed that guy 3 times in this battle. His Hori was his second spawn. His first spawn was actually the Type 61. And he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Multiple times. I kind of feel bad for the guy. I mean, getting killed 3 times by the same person is pretty unusual. They marked the guy behind me, but I don't see him. I think he's further off to the right. Anyway, 2 caps, 9 kills, 1 death, and the T32s. The E1 is definitely the better one, but the original is pretty damn good too. With a 15% RP booster, 9 kills, and a talisman on both T32s. You can see I did pretty well for the RP gain, with over 21,000 in vehicle research points. And we get a whole bunch of backups as well. Not too shabby. Almost got 70,000 lines as well. Not bad. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, click that thumbs up button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care guys.